but we're not yet. Now we're there. Good. The video's up. Good. Now we're going to go here. All right. Stand by. I don't want to scare it away. I'm so excited. It's like Christmas. Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh my God, he's crying. No, I'm just kidding. It's been, it feels like it's only been 3 days. We're all online. You know what's going to happen now? I'll say it just because I'm going to wave my cane at the clouds like a grumpy old man. Now we're going to lose internet in Portsmouth. That's what's going to happen. We finally made it over to Meta, and I still hate you, Zuckerberg. Everybody's like, you're daring him to shut you off. I am. Anyway, we're here. Good morning. It is the Quick Start. It's Wednesday, May 1st, which is horrifying. But we are in a very busy month here at our market center. We've got Sarah Nason and the Julie Davis from our 2024 ALC. They're going to give us all the information. There was an L in there. They'll be on the quiz later about what's going on next Thursday in both York and North Conway. We'll talk about that in just a second. We're also 13 days out from the following Tuesday in which we are going to have our golf tournament. So if you open up the morning news, and you get it every day at 7:14. Just scroll down a little bit. There's a place to register for Red Day. We're going to talk about that in a second. You can tell us where your face is going to be. You can tell us if you want to pet puppies up in North Conway or build bog bridges in York. We're asking for dietary restrictions. We're probably not going to have a vegetable crudité platter. We can work on it. Right now, we're just going to make sure we at least have sustenance and water. And decent weather is what we're praying for. Also on the morning news, as you continue to scroll down, is making sure that you register your face for golf should you play. If you don't play golf, and there's a distinction between this. There are golfers, not me, and people who play golf, me. And if you don't want to do any of that foolishness, you can just join us for dinner and the raffle. All the details for that Tuesday the 14th at Nippo Lake are available on the morning news. And today is Wednesday. What do we do on Wednesday? We make sure that we know what the hell we're talking about when it comes to the paperwork that we use to help our clients in the states we serve. 9 o'clock, Alice Kabaki is doing Massachusetts. 10 o'clock, you've got beautiful downtown Maine. 11 o'clock, New Hampshire. And then above and beyond that, you have the rest of the day to yourself. Before we get there, we're going to talk about Red Day. We're so excited. I got both of you together. We were trying to do Monday, Julie, Tuesday, Sarah, but the internet fought me off. Sarah's was probably the most precarious because I think at that point, everybody in the company is like, he really is senile. Because I was talking to Sarah and then I'm asking the internet, can you see or hear her? And everybody's like, no. And I sort of knew that because the software was so screwed up. But we're here now. Red Day is happening. It's an acronym. Welcome to KW. Everything's an acronym. Renew, energize, and donate. And there's a whole bunch of ways you guys can get involved if you are planning to join us, and you should. We're closed, quite honestly. Most market centers are closed. If you have your pass card, you can still sneak into the building, although we would invite you for future Mays. The second Thursday in May, they dropped it close to Mo Anderson's birthday. She's like the queen of culture when it comes to Keller Williams Realty International. And the second Thursday in May, which is next Thursday, we're going to be in York, and Julie's going to talk about that. We're also going to be in North Conway again, backed by popular demand. Or should we say popular demand? P-A-W? Are people writing that down? That'll be on the quiz later. We were so afraid last year, ladies, to split the tribe. We're like, oh my God, we're going to do 2 projects. It'll never go okay. It went so well. And just a reminder, too, and you ladies can speak to this, we're not doing this to say, hey, if you live up north, it's not a Mason-Dixon line. And I pointed this out, and I'm going to make people feel guilty. If you're in North Conway and you don't like dogs, we're probably not friends, but you can come down and do like the build the bridge, build the bog bridge, and all that stuff. We're not saying geographically you have to go to where you live. If you want to come down, great. If you're down in this area and you want to go up north and play with the puppies and do all that kind of stuff, we invite you to cross-pollinate. So this is all taking place. It's a full day on Thursday. We say that, and I know people are reading the emails and the text, and they're like, 9 to 5, that's a long day. We probably won't see 5 o'clock. I shouldn't. If you're on the bridge project in York, you're going to see 5 o'clock. I'm going to tell you that much right now, probably. And there's a bunch of people that are super excited about that. Talk to us about the experience that you guys have had in the past with Red Day, and a little bit more about the individual projects that we have both in York and North Conway. I'm going to start with Sarah, since we tried to get to you yesterday. I'm going to go there first to make sure that we get the dog talk taken care of for the Humane Society in North Conway. Talk to us about the projects up there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Red Day has been always just a wonderful thing every year. Um, and this project is one that um, they've been very excited to have us come back because we made a very big difference for them.
Mm,
Um, they do a lot of projects within the community, and they are even working on building a veterinary clinic to be able to help people out because that can get very expensive. So they're trying
mm,
to make it a lot more accessible to the community. So because of that, some of these other things they haven't had a lot of time to do.
yeah.
So we would be helping out mainly with a lot of the trail work and cleanup, and
Mm,
it's very easy. It's not crazy. We're not hiking super far. It's just a lot of raking up leaves, and anybody that has a chainsaw is more than willing to be able to help out with a couple. We get all these storms, and
hmm.
we've had a couple of trees come down, like small ones. So that was very helpful for them last year. And it's more than the whole North Conway community comes and uses these trails.
Mm,
So they were all able to be able to reap those benefits for what we did
sure.
last year, and we will continue that this year. We are also going to be helping with one new project, which is a rainbow bridge. I think Tim touched on this a little bit yesterday,
A less
but
ridiculous bridge. We're excited. Well,
yeah,
it's a sad reason behind the bridge. It's for when you're interning your pets. Although it's emotionally heavy, but it'll be light work. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay.
yes, and it's going to be. I mean, you'll be able to walk over it, but it's more of a decorative style bridge than
Mm.
we're not. It's not the crazy bridge project of like 5 years ago that I've heard so much
The
about.
3-day bridge. We loved it.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to work on that bridge project as well, we do need volunteers for that. I
Mm.
think they're already going to have all the supplies. So really, all that they're going to need, they'll have like a small cut list, and we also do need help with people that are willing to paint. So if you can paint in all the colors of the rainbow, then we can use your help.
Perfect. Perfect. So the other thing too, just insofar as the projects are concerned, I know people sometimes are, wondering, what do we need for head counts? And I don't think I'll say this forever. There's 630 of us, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, there'll be more than enough people. I don't need to go," or "I'm not mechanically inclined." This is me speaking out loud. These are my inner thoughts. I have zero skills, right? Look at zero calluses, as Kaylee will remind you. I have the baby soft hands. So if you feel like you can't bring any talent, you feel like there's going to be too many people, we are allowed to be done faster, which would be great. And above and beyond that, has anybody, either location, and I'll start with you, Sarah, has either location said there's a max head count, or we don't have enough parking, or any concerns of that nature?
No, not at all.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So when you go on and you sign up, we want you to go where your heart is pulling you. I think invariably people are like, I want to go play with the dogs. There's probably not, I mean, the dogs are there and they're available, but there's not a whole bunch of time with the dogs. It's a lot of work to make sure the lifestyle for the dogs when they're there is better. Yes?
Yeah, but I think last time when I went, I know a bunch of people went. We all saw the dogs afterwards, and
Mm,
I don't know, it pulls your heartstrings a little bit after that.
sure,
But
sure.
this one will be there from 9 to 12, so it's not even a very long commitment. So
Okay.
you can still get a little more of your day afterwards. It's a 3 hour day, and then we'll eat lunch. So
Okay. Awesome. Talk to me, Julie, about what's going on in York.
Okay. So we have a little bit of a longer day.
Hmm.
We're hoping that volunteers can start arriving at 9:15. Um, if we can carpool, that's recommended, highly recommended. There's parking, but it's parking at the farm, so it's a little tight.
Okay.
Um, for anybody who can carpool, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Um, we have a lot of different stations because the White Pines program, they run their programs along the York River and Smelt Brook.
Hmm.
So it's about a 2 mile stretch. So, and they call them camps. So our volunteers are going to be broken up into camps accordingly. But we also, as as kind of part of stewardship, we're going to do a little work for the Zacharias farm, which is going to be wonderful. Working in the greenhouses, which would be great for those who cannot navigate down into the trails.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of, other than the bog bridge, we have a plan for it. It's I laugh just saying it. It's not, it'll be good. It'll be fine. They'll be moving wood chips around and some gravel. We're going to have a station set up for, again, for people who can't get out on the trails really and safely navigate, making some directional signs, pointing with arrows and stuff like that. Super easy. But something that the White Pines program is really excited to share with us is they're going to do a few little beginning activities up for us when we get there, just to kind of introduce us to what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Their programs still have to run, so their older children will be there, kind of working alongside of us, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll learn from the kids what they do, some of what they do. And we're going to be having bagged lunches that'll go with everybody to their stations. Once we get there and everybody's assigned to their stations, they'll take their lunch with them. Just because of the long hike back and forth, it'll just be hard for everybody to go back to one place to have lunch. So
sure. Awesome. For both locations, and I think primarily most of the donated materials that we're looking for assistance with are going to the York project. Tell me about that list, what people are looking for. And there's a note on there. Obviously, if there's wood that somebody has that's in good condition, great. But we're not looking necessarily, and beggars can't be choosers, but yes, we can. We're not looking for scrap wood that's falling apart or maybe worn or has nails in it. We're looking for supplies that may be secondhand, but also in good shape.
Right. Especially for the bog bridge. Yeah, it needs to last.
How did they die? Well, they fell off the bog bridge that KW made. Yeah, that'll be a whole new lawsuit. Gary will love it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So far from what I understand from White Pines program is they do have some wood that's been coming in, which is great. But what we need is people working out on the trails, gloves, rakes, pruners, things like that. We need, we're going to be moving wood chips and gravel, things like that. Filling in some holes along the road, actually, because the road going into the farm has been taking quite a hit from the families dropping off the kids for the White Pines program. So we're hoping to be able to do a little something on that as well. But I wish I could say that I have a good update like on the wood, but I know that it's coming along. So I think we'll have a lot of what we need. So
Sarah mentioned, if you've got, I don't think there's any reason to leave any power tool that you might have at home. Don't leave it at home. Bring it with you. What we're going to remind people, last year there was, the bridge project, which was a couple of years back. There was a random amount of drills, drill bits, peoples, like all this kind of stuff. The best you can label your stuff. I can't stress that enough. If you've got some sort of ridiculous hot pink, lime green tape that you can put on the handle of your rake and write your name on it, or something that you know is yours, invariably everybody gets back with their tools at some point. But I think we had a couple rakes and a shovel here and there that might have been in the lobby in Portsmouth for a good solid month before somebody realized they were missing it. So we just want to make sure everything you bring, you're able to bring home. Sarah stressed if you got a chainsaw. I will argue, and I'm sure we'll joke about this later, we could be doing a full day at a soup kitchen, and Brad Kelly would show up with a chainsaw just to cut the baguettes of bread. Like, there's always going to be a chainsaw involved. So whatever you have, leaf blowers, any of that kind of stuff, just as long as you make sure you label it, we want to make sure everybody gets their stuff back. But whatever you have for tools, gloves, I know muck boots are a huge stress for the people that are going to be out working in the bog bridge, which will be a pleasure. all that kind of stuff. I'd rather have you bring it and not have to need it
Right.
than have us run short. So I want you to overthink the amount of stuff that you bring with you. And again, I think the more people we have, the more resources we have, the faster we're going to get stuff done. Our goal is to not have people there like, oh, wow, the sun's starting to go down. We do not want that. And I know we've told horror stories about the bridge a couple of years ago. It was 3 days because it was 3 days, and people were happy to go back and work on it. But other than that, all the other projects move pretty smoothly. And I think one of the things that we'll definitely do with the Bog Bridge, you said it's a little ways out, is making sure we did this with the last project, is getting the supplies out to that location via truck so we could just work there. So there's a lot of stuff that we'll be able to do ahead of time, hopefully pre-cutting some of the materials. So, and to Sarah's point, there's also going to be some stuff that's super light work. So whatever your skill set is, wherever you want to fall in that, just make sure when you go on the Google form that we built is going to ask you all these questions. And there's not like super finite details on what the projects are necessarily, but you can sort of tell by reading them that some might be a little bit lighter. So there's going to be skill set pockets for everybody to jump into so people don't feel overwhelmed. And this is coming from somebody who feels overwhelmed as soon as they pick up a tool. I'm like, everyone knows I'm a liability, but that's all right. It'll be fine. It's for the good of the pack. So this is all coming up next Thursday, May 9th. Please put a velvet rope around that day. Access to the offices will be here. If you've got appointments, we get that. If you got to show up late because you're dropping off short people, you got to leave early because you're going to a doctor's appointment, we get all that. But if you can give us any time, we'd rather take 62 minutes of your day than nothing. So if you can pencil in a piece of that, and if we can have you all day, that's great too. Thank you so much to the ALC and, of course, Sarah and Julie for spearheading all this. We'll be looking for volunteers. We're looking still for wood and supplies. And if you've got, project dependent, of course, people bring their kids all the time. So if you've got somebody who is not going to drive you crazy while you bring them, and they're actually going to help, we've seen kids of all ages come and help out. Certainly last year with the parking lot when we did the build the bed thing for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, it was pretty cool. So, ladies, thank you so much. I think we made it. I think we're on the air. I don't know. We'll check Facebook in a second. I don't know if anybody can see on their phone, but I assume at this point, I see in my data over here, I see people are watching us on Facebook. So I think we made it. We made it to the internet. I appreciate your patience, everybody. Again, you're looking for the link. It's been texted out. It's been emailed out. It's in the morning news. It's all over the face space. Please just go and click in and tell us where your face is going to be. So we have a head count on duties. We have a head count on food, and we can get started next Thursday first thing. We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.